Shalom to my brothers and sisters in the body of Yahushua HaMashyah. And today's title of this video would be YAHUWAH Natural Hair Care Regimen. Because this was a perfect day for me to do this video. As you can see, I just just cleanse my hair. I just remember things they taught me in school, what not to say. So, cleanse my hair. I can't say shampoo, and you'll find out why I do not say shampoo. But today I just cleansed my hair. I am a natural hair care specialist, okay? And basically, I'm going to just tell you, my experience comes from me starting out being natural. And that was through the Most High showing me about chemicals, about how he created things to be, and how he created things that he to be used by him. So through him, I was able to get understanding about how to take care of my hair. And it was a process, my people. It didn't happen overnight. It wasn't easy at first, but I was determined to wear my hair natural as he created me to be. Now, one of the main reasons why I'm doing this video is because it's for my sisters. Because a lot of us envy people who have straight hair, and we don't really see the blessings about our woolly, kinky, nappy hair. And believe it or not, the word show us that we are made in the likeness and the image of the Elohim head. And when I say the Elohim head, I'm talking about the Godhead. And that is Yahuwah the Father, Yahushua the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay? So we are made in the image, in their image and their likeness. So let me give you the scripture so you can read and study about that in your spare time. It's in the book of Daniel, chapter 7. And then just bear with me. Let me turn to it right quick in my notes. Daniel, chapter 7. And I also know Daniel chapter 10. Revelation chapter 1. Okay, I'm getting about close to it. I just had my hands on it, and now here we go. Sorry about that. Daniel chapter 7 verse 9, chapter 10 verse 5 through 6, Revelations chapter 13 through 16. And for confirmation on the color of our hair, for the majority, and I'm aware everybody do not have black hair, but this is an ancient Hebrew Israelite trait. Our hair was either black or white, and today we call white gray. And that can be found in Leviticus chapter 13. Read a section that pertains to the beard and the scalp. In the Bible, it may say skull, but in the beard and the scalp, we show that when a person was plagued with leprosy, the hair would change from black to yellow, and today we call yellow blonde. Also, another verse to prove what I'm saying is read Mathew chapter 5 verse 36, for it will show you that our hair was either black or white. Okay, let's see here. So my sisters, this is to give you encouragement and so that you can love and cherish what the Most High gave to you. Okay, when we use these chemicals, whether we are coloring our hair or straightening our hair, or whether we are also using heat, we are damaging the beauty that the Most High given to us. For that is our glory, ladies. That's written in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Okay, so I just cleansed my hair today, so I'm going to go over you about the steps of what you can do to take care of your hair. For the record, I do not use any shampoos or any natural shampoo base. And when it's dealing with black soap, I would talk about that. Also, I only use herbs to cleanse my hair and condition my hair as well. I no longer use any more products. Okay. I definitely need to mention this so I won't forget. I recommend that you purchase things like bottles who have these round tips, so it's easier to apply your oils that are liquid. Also, any type of natural cleaning solution. Another one of these. Nice round tip. I can get through my hair better. I also recommend that you start investing in picks that has the round tips, and because you don't want it to be abrasive on your scalp. Okay. And I highly recommend you purchase water bottles or spray bottles that have this type of trigger, because it's a lot easier to spray whatever solution you're trying to spray in your scalp and hair, and your finger won't get as tight as compared to the downward motion. I do want to go ahead and touch on the black soap so I won't forget. Black soap is the only natural soap on this earth that is 100% natural. All the ingredients is 100% natural. It's a great cleanser. But like any soap, it will remove your natural oils. And for those who have woolly hair, you know that our natural oils don't make it all the way down the hair shaft, and our hair tends to be a little bit more on the drier side. So if you're going to use the African black soap, you definitely going to have to use a great conditioner to replenish what that soap removes. Okay. So for me, I have stopped using it. All right. Now I know you're wondering, what do you use? Well, believe it or not, there are a lot of natural cleansers out here. Let me mention this. It's a root called Yucca root. That's a natural soap cleanser. It has a small soap base. And I would talk about another natural cleanser that also has a natural soap base, but it won't lather up like your shampoos or your natural soap, but it will cleanse your hair effectively. Okay, so let me go through the steps first. So on the day that I decide to cleanse my scalp and hair, I mentioned these two because a lot of times, sisters, we forget about our scalp, and your scalp is your foundation for your hair growth and for you to have hefty hair. So you have to remember, you got to take care of your scalp too. So I try to do this every week, and I am aware in the real world that you may not can do it every week, but don't go no longer than 2 weeks. Remember, your scalp is skin, it shed their skin cells every day. So it needs to be cleansed as well as your hair. There's things that get in our hair, dust, lint, those things. So first, what I do while my hair is dry, I have always my hair in a protective style or parted in 4 sections. You see here, you can see the back, braid it up, and I go through each section. Spray it with water first and detangle. And detangle with my pick, starting from down, working up. Okay. Also, if you're going to use a natural cleanser that's a little more stripping, that means make your hair a little more drier, then you can use a natural oil like coconut oil is my favorite, olive oil, any type of natural oil. Put it on the hair and let it at least sit on the hair for about 30 minutes with a shower cap or with a plastic cap. And I just use the heat from my body. And then that's the way you can do what we call a pre-poo treatment. Okay? So that's the time you apply that. But for me, because the way I'm taking care of my hair now, I don't have to do that. Also, if you have a build up of dead skin on your scalp, this is my favorite. Organic apple cider vinegar by Bragg. And you can see those elements, Now, with anything you use, I recommend that you do your homework. So I would take 1 to 2 teaspoons and mix it in 8 ounces of bottled water. And I would spray it on my scalp before I get in the shower. It'd be about 5 minutes. And it's to help loosen up that buildup on the scalp as well as the hair. Now, for a great buildup for a great buildup on the scalp and hair, you can use this mixture. You want to use 4 parts water to 1 part vinegar. So in other words, let's say this was 5 ounces. I would say 4 ounces of water, and then I put 1 ounce of vinegar. Shake it up, spray on your scalp or wherever that buildup is. Let it sit for about 5 minutes or at the most 10 minutes. Okay? And go and rinse it out. Now that's great to use on people who have braid styles. On that day they're removing their braids and it's really itchy. That's a great mixture to spray in your scalp because it is going to kill the itch and take it away. And that's using 1 part vinegar to 4 parts water. Okay. So now begin in the shower. This is my natural cleanser. Now this is a gel-based cleanser. You can use flaxseed gels. I have not tried with chia seeds. And you can also get xanthan gum. Those are natural things you can use to thicken your tea mixture or your natural cleanser solutions. I do not recommend guar gum because guar gum act like silicone. And what it basically does, the guar gum will coat your scalp and your hair, and it cannot breathe. And believe me, your scalp will let you know. So what's going to happen is you're going to have to go back and use a more harsher cleanser, and that's most of the time your soap-based shampoos to remove it. Okay? So first you want to do is you got to make your tea mixture. Okay? So let's talk about that before I tell you what I do in the shower with this. I love my Indian herbs because it's nothing but herbs. Now let's talk about this one. Aritha, which is soap nut, and that's a picture of it before they grind it up. And this is the grounded version. Okay. Now I do not apply this on my hair as instructed by the box. Okay. Because we have curly hair. It's not going to work for us. Okay. So I make mine as a tea mixture. A little go a long way, my people. So I use about a tablespoon I use about a tablespoon of powder of this to 3 to 4 cups of tap water. And the reason I use tap water because I'm not trying to preserve it. I'm not trying to sell it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to sell a product, you have to use, things that are free of germs. But for me, it's personal use. I can use tap water and I'll be okay. So I make my tea out of this. Another herb I use is Shikakai. I love Shikakai because it's a natural conditioner, natural detangler, and it matches the pH of your scalp and hair. Okay? So that's another one I use. And again, these are all powders. Very cheap and affordable, my people. I mean, wonderful. But be careful while you're using these powders. You don't want to breathe the powder in your nose. So you can cover your mouth and nose with a scarf or get a mask. Another one that herbs I love is Capitone. Because this has a great combination and I find it's not drying to my hair. So it has aloe and Shikakai and let me see what other great things to have in it. Brahmi. So this has a great combination of herbs in it. Okay. So I make my cleanser first as a tea, and the list can go endless with this on how you want to do it. Also, getting back to the Indian powders, you have to find what combination works for you. I find for me, because these cleans very well, I only use one. I don't mix it, okay, depending on what type of herb it is. So you have to find out what combination works best for you. I recommend start out with one of these herbs and take it from there. But I do find that when I mix the Aritha with the soap nut, that's too much. It's going to dry out my hair. All right. Now, then you make your tea mixture, and that's when you add in your thickeners. Whatever thickeners you want to use. You use flaxseed gel. You can use, flaxseeds, or you can use xanthan gum or whatever natural thickener. Do not use guar gum, okay? So once I get that solution thickened to the way I like it, I strain it. Now, it's easier to remove the flaxseeds through a collar or this type of strainer, but I made sure I use my pantyhose to remove the finer particles from the gel. Now, when I make my flaxseed gel, it may be a little thin, but it does get thicker once I put it in the refrigerator, okay? Now with that natural cleansing solution I just gave to you, and I'm also going to list Natural 85 link on how to make flaxseed gel because she has a wonderful recipe on that. But for me, it can last up to 3 weeks in the refrigerator for me. You can also add other things to it. You can add a little bit of oil. You can add your essential oils, and please do your research on essential oils and how to use them. A lot of times when people have bad experience with them because they don't realize how strong and how potent the essential oils are. All right, so I got my cleanser made, and I love these bottles because it's got the soft tip. I can get through my thick hair. And I just apply the cleanser. And just to give you an idea, that's what my cleanser looks like. I'm trying to show it to you. Okay. And then I coat each section. And my hair is like twisted up and braided at the end. And I coat each section where, and I use my fingers to get in my scalp and stuff. And then also, you can use your pick as well too, to get in your scalp and, get that stuff, up. Now, I love this because this was like $1 when I purchased this from the Beauty World. Again, I make sure it's not abrasive to my skin, because that's the same thing with your scalp. You don't want it abrasive. You don't want to make cuts and abrasion on your scalp. So I also go in here, and what I do, I take each of the 4 sections and I part a small section, combing this a little bit, and it also removes any shredded hair. Now keep in mind, when your hair is wet, you need to be careful how you detangle, even though your hair is very elastic. But hair is kind of like a string. If you overstretch it, guess what's going to happen? You're going to weaken that hair shaft. And then you're going to cause splits to occur within the hair shaft. So while your hair is wet, you need to be careful while you're detangling it in the shower. So that's why I prefer to detangle my hair before I get in the shower. Okay. So I take a small section, or each of the 4 sections, I take a little small section and I go through it and I comb down all the way until I get to the top. And this is why the water is running over that section. And then once I get all the gel and stuff removed out that section, I just braid up my hair loosely, because remember, your hair is wet. And then I twist it, and then I braid my hair loosely. And then I move to the next section until I get to my 4th section. And if you like, you can rinse your hair with cool water, to lock in your shine, your moisture. But at the same time, this mixture is conditioning my hair and it's cleansing my hair. One step, my people. Okay. So once I get out of the shower, I do not want to remove all that excess water. I want to do a little bit, because then I will follow up with my olive oil and castor oil mixture. And I love saving my bottles, especially the ones that's colored, because a lot of oils are sensitive to sunlight. So that's very important for you to know, because it can damage the nutrients of that oil or make the oil go bad. And keep in mind, for those who cannot use castor oil, you can use shea butter in place of it. And this oil is a liquid, okay? I make sure this is a liquid. So with castor oil, keep in mind also, it don't take much castor oil. Castor oil is very thick, and it's a natural humectant. And what I mean is, it'll bring moisture from the atmosphere into your hair and keep your hair nice and soft. So that's what I love about castor oil. FYI, when you're on a budget, you can go to Walmart pharmacy to get the castor oil, but remember, this is not the best grade of castor oil. But hey, when you're on a budget, you got to use what you got. But you can get a better grade of castor oil from like your natural food stores, like Whole Foods, Beauty World, things like that. Also, I would make a special mixture of my scalp oil, and I'll talk about that in another video. But that's been my special mixture of essential oils and herbs, and I'll apply that to my scalp. Okay, so that's the best time to seal on that moisture on top of the scalp, as well as to seal on the moisture on your hair with your liquid oil mixture. And everybody's different. You can use whatever combination you like. I also love my coconut oil too. And so it's liquid right now because it's been kind of hot. All right. So once I do that, that's enough oil for me. I don't use the shea butter like most people do, because what I find is that shea butter is very thick, and it can leave a build up on your hair and scalp. And what I mean by that, because it's so thick, it takes longer to absorb. So a little go along with shea butter. So be careful how you use this, my people. I highly recommend that you mix it, or another word for that, or whip it with another oils and butter, so you can prevent that from happening. Now, for my people with locks, I do not recommend that you use the shea butter because of the buildup and making your locks heavier. This is a suggestion I have for you: glycerin and castor oil. Now, castor oil needs to be mixed with an oil as well, and glycerin needs to be mixed with water. But it gives you a slight stickiness like the shea butter, And that way you can twist your hair, pin it, and when it dry, it'll give you that soft hold. Okay, not like the gel, but that's a good thing to use in place. But please make sure you mix your castor oil well, because it's very thick and sticky. All right, and you don't want to cut off the oxygen or the air from the scalp or the lock, or it's going to begin to thick and break off. All right. And I do also, for my locks, I do not recommend no type of wax, because special beaver's wax has a very high melting point, so it'd be very difficult to remove, and you would have to cook your hair to remove it. For those who understand what I'm talking about. Also, another type of coconut oil, I love the pure refined complex coconut oil, and the reason is because it has great nutrients. So when you start dipping in your natural oils, you want to look at how these oils are processed, okay? Because if they're not processed correctly, then they would be destroying a lot of nutrients. And the same thing with my olive oil. I like the cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. And the things I'm telling you today, you can get this from the grocery store, dollar store, Walmart, Dollar Tree. You see where I'm going with this? But make sure you read your ingredients, okay? So once I come out the shower, I put my liquid oil mixture to my hair. Now that's for me, that's enough. I also have a little special mixture of my scalp oil, okay? And for me, I'm the type I like my hair to naturally dry. For those that use the comb dryers, be careful, because even with you want to keep your setting between medium and low. I find that a lot of people get heat damage from both dryers, and your hair will not revert. So in other words, you're cooking your hair, and that's why your hair won't revert. Okay, back to the woolly, kinky texture. So for me, I like my hair to naturally dry. So I just take these 4 sections. I plait my hair loosely, because remember, your hair is wet. It's a lot longer, but when it's dry, it's going to draw up. So you want to make sure you give space for that hair to draw up. If not, as the hair is drying, you can get headaches, or you can cause great tension on the hair, and the hair can begin to break off. Okay. For my men, and this is something you can talk to my husband about. His name is Yor. He's on Facebook. His name is spelled Yorah. Ben, you got to let your head breathe. You got to let your scalp breathe and your hair breathe. Remember, baldness not only caused by genetics, but baldness can be caused by the things you are doing to your hair. Also by the products you're using on your hair. And this is why, let's see here. This is why I stopped using products. A lot of products say they are natural, but you need to get a cosmetic ingredient book, and you need to get a food ingredient book, and start looking this stuff up. You need to look at how they're processing these ingredients, and that would determine whether they are natural. So I find by just going strictly herbal now, my hair loves me, and I love my hair. My hair is soft, it's manageable, and I find by staying on a consistent regimen, my hair will be moisturized, manageable, easy to detangle, easier to style. And with styling, let me speak on that. Don't get so over-obsessive with your styling, because certain styles can be very stressful on your hair. It can cause breakage. If you keep it simple, your hair gonna love you, and you're gonna love your hair. Also, I love scarves. I always keep a scarf around my neck, because like I said, you never know when you're praying and you're gonna prophesize. But I love scarves because, well, if I'm having a bad hair day, guess what? I can cover it with my different scarves. All right. Also, what I like about the scarf versus the wigs and the extension, whether it's human hair or natural hair, women, sisters, my sisters in the body of Yahushua HaMashyah, you don't know where that hair came from. You don't know who that person was praying to, or you don't know who that person was worshiping. Just like, for example, in India, when they cut their hair off, they dedicate it to their goddess or God. Okay. So when you're taking on an object that has been dedicated to other deities, you're inviting the spirit to come on you. So be careful. This is why I don't deal with extensions for myself. Okay, I don't wear extensions. I don't care if it's artificial or human hair, because even with the artificial extensions, I find that it's going to stress your scalp and your hair. It's going to prevent your hair and your scalp from breathing. And for those who trying to thicken their hair or trying to grow their hair to longer lengths, that's going to work against you. So the simple way to manage your hair without having to do your hair all the time, scarf. Start investing with scarves. It's cheaper. They can be stylish. It's so many ways you can wear them. Go on YouTube and Facebook. Search it out, my sisters. Okay? And back to my men with the baldness. Let your scalp breathe. When you wear your Mathew, wear it properly. It should not be a little hole up here. You should have a big wide opening. Okay? And for those who don't wear the Mathew, you should have your head uncovered so your scalp and hair can breathe. And for any more questions or concerns, leave your comments in the comments box. You can also reach out to me on Facebook as well as YouTube. I spell my name as YTYYAH. I pronounce it as Yitia. And Shalom. And most importantly, my people, preach the gospel of the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For we know this is the season for Yahushua HaMashyah to return. And baptize the people in the name of Yahushua. For we must be born again in order to enter into the new eternal kingdom. For we know Esau's kingdom is ending. And we know we are in the last days, for these are the end times. So I enjoy sharing with you what the Most High showed to me about how to take care of natural hair. And please share these tips too with your brothers and sisters in the body of Yahushua HaMashyah. Shalom.